what's up, baby? It's Fordee from Can't Stop Art. So as promised, here's part 2 of using clear gesso. In the part 1, all I really did is I had an artboard, right, which is basically a canvas board. I printed a piece of artwork. Now granted, it's not mine. I found the image on Google. I couldn't find out who the original artist was because so many people are using the image. So I just grabbed it. If you know who created this image, please let me know. I will definitely link their information in the description, huh? And so the idea here is if you create a piece of digital art, either with a Wacom tablet, an iPad, etc., with a drawing pen, etc., using Procreate or Sketchbook or whatever, you can then print that, glue it to an artboard or canvas, and then paint it to make it original, right? One of a kind. And that's what I did here, is I took the artwork, I printed on my printer, I glued it to the artboard, and after gluing it, I cut the edges, as you can see. There was some bubbles there, so what I did is I cut the bubbles, and it ended up removing some paper and etc. You saw in the beginning it didn't look very nice, huh? And plus there are some places where I scored the paper with the X-Acto blade to make sure that when I put another coat of Mod Podge, it kind of made sure everything was stuck, not too much stuff was raised. I figured I would use some impasto techniques to raise the paint in certain areas, etc. And in the end, can you tell that there is paper underneath this stuff? I don't think you can tell. And on top of it, it's definitely one of a kind. It's definitely original. And in the sense that we utilize someone else's piece of art, the reality is the end result doesn't look anything like the beginning, and probably the person who made this as a sticker or whatever they made it for, they ended up probably taking the image from somewhere else also, right? So anyway, I think this is really cool because a lot of people don't spend time practicing drawing, their proportions aren't that great, etc. So doing something like this, you can draw in a tablet while using things that smooth out your lines and so forth, and then you can take that print, attach it to an artboard or a canvas, and then make it your own, make it unique, make it one of a kind, which is what I'm doing here, huh? So as you can see, I start painting this, I'm giving it some tonality, I end up bringing in some glitter. I thought about doing some liquid acrylic, but the reality is probably if I use 3mm or 3M like painter's tape or something like that, it would, even though I had Mod Podge, it probably would have lifted the paper, like just in certain spots, right? So I decided against it. And right here I'm using some glitter with some pouring medium that I then put on. It takes a while to dry, etc. You'll see I hit it with a heat gun because in reality I didn't really leave this thing to dry, you know? All I would do is move to a different portion and start painting there. There were a couple moments where I got up, I went, I cleaned the brush, etc. Well, anyways, a lot of moments where I went and cleaned the brushes, right? But okay, so that's cool. You have to keep your brushes clean. But in reality, when it's all said and done, I think this took me a little under 4 hours to paint, and that includes everything, right? So anyways, guys, I hope you like this video. You think this technique maybe works for you. If it does, and you end up using this technique in some situation, then please leave in the comments a link to the work. I'd love to check it out, huh? If you found the video helpful, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. You know, it means the world to me, guys. Until next time, I'm out.